Welcome to the Previously On podcast. I'm your host, Jillian Bonanne, and joining me today, a man who regularly gets caught talking to himself. It's my husband, Tyler Branch. Welcome
That's
back,
true.
Tyler.
I am often laughing and talking to myself.
I've caught you doing this a number of times. Are you talking to ghosts?
Yes, I'm talking to dead football players.
Well, now I'm worried about who died in our apartment.
What do you think of that video? I gotta say, if you didn't know anything going on in the world of school spirits and you saw that video of Maddie, I'd think she's a little cuckoo crazy.
She's so animated in the video too. I think that's what makes
so
it
animated.
So jarring. We've never seen her so animated on this show than in that video.
She is charmed by Wally.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I think I would feel so bad though for her. I would really think something is going on where I would say, guys, I don't think we can talk about this girl. Like something is seriously wrong here.
I do think it's like, I don't think we're allowed to make fun of this girl.
Yeah.
She disappeared for a month and now she's sitting on a bench talking to no one, laughing her ass off. Like, what's happening?
I would say, I don't think we should be sharing this, guys. This is too dark. This is too sad. We can't.
We don't know what went on. This is trauma.
But that would be shocking.
It would be shocking. It would go viral. I do think I'd watch it many times. I wouldn't be one of these mean commenters. But
that would be on the Today Show. There would be some kind of segment. There would be ghost hunters calling her. Mm-hmm. She'd be on the Discovery Channel before we knew it.
Do you think that's how this all ends? Is she's a successful podcaster, a ghost hunter?
I'd be listening. Yeah. I would be listening.
Yeah. She's telling you she's in love with a ghost named Wally who died in the 80s.
That's a great ending. Her starting a podcast about this story.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, today we're talking about season 3 of School Spirits. Maddie and the gang, alive and dead, are back for another season. So exciting because I have called this one of the best shows on TV, and I stand by that. This is a great show. It gets better and better every season. And I'm glad we're back for more. I'm glad we're dissecting this because mystery shows can be a little overwhelming for me. But
despite you saying it was one of the best shows on TV, it still took me years to watch it. I was just like, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But
I
you
said this is a show for you. Especially after season 2.
You did.
No, after season 1. Because I said, this is going more science fiction. This is not just how did she die. We're going into a science fiction territory, which you love.
I do.
And I finally got you to watch it.
You finally really got my attention when you told me that the final episode of season 2 was a play on words of the Twin Peaks movie, Fire Walk With Me. And I was like, oh, you got my attention.
If there's a Twin Peaks reference, it gets your attention.
There's quite a few in this show.
There is.
No, I'm glad you talked me into watching it because what a show. We got so much to talk about today.
Yeah.
We're going 3 hours, right? Isn't that what we decided?
No, I have been having to trim down.
I got a backlog of theories after binging this whole show and catching up.
This is the only show you've ever binged this quickly, which is exciting.
I've loved it.
Me.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
I love the cliffhangers each up.
It's really good. It keeps you going. It keeps you guessing. And we are ready to break it all down today. So we're breaking down the first 3 episodes of season 3, which recently dropped on Paramount Plus this week. And we have a lot of thoughts. So let's start, though, with some recaps and reactions to what has happened in the show. Because a lot has happened just even in these 3 episodes. So I need a little bit of a refresher, too. And then we're going to give a warning before we talk about theories and predictions about where this is all going, because I know not everybody necessarily is interested in that. So we're going to talk about all our theories, all our predictions, what we think is going to happen towards the end of the episode.
I'm holding back. I'm holding it in.
I know. It's going to be hard, but
I'm not going to tell you who that... who that person was down in the hole just yet.
We got to talk
wait
about
till the
that.
end.
We have some wild theories on that. We haven't even really talked about it. We've kind of kept it
so
we're not discussing too much. Yeah. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe and follow our podcast. Give us 5 stars, like our vids on YouTube, share with your friends. It all really helps, and we'd really appreciate it. Now, Tyler, give us a quick recap where we left things off at the end of season 2.
All right. I'm excited to do this because I recently watched all of season 1 and 2. So I wrote a little recap for you.
So we're going back.
Here. All right. And there's so much to cover here. But I basically narrowed it down to just what was happening leading into the first episode, now season 3. Like, where did we leave things off at the end of season 2? In season 1, we meet Maddie Nears, a teenager who has tragically died at Split River High School. Later, we find out she didn't exactly die. Janet, a teen girl spirit who died in a lab fire with her teacher, Mr. Martin, in the 1950s, has taken over Maddie's body, so they switched places. Maddie's best friend, Simon, who can still see and speak to her, even though she's a ghost, convinces Janet to return Maddie's body back to her. Back at the school, Janet gives up Maddie's body, but Mr. Martin kidnaps Janet's spirit, forcing her into his scar, which is basically an immersive loop of your death and trauma. And Mr. Martin hopes to use Janet to escape the purgatory of the school and finally cross over, get out of this place. Maddie and the other spirits travel through their own scars to reach Mr. Martin's scar and save Janet. Janet's exit door appears, but she chooses not to take it. Maddie's spirit races to rejoin her own body while she's being loaded into an ambulance. She awakens in the hospital, being visited by Xavier, who can now see hospital ghosts, including Maddie's dad, due to his near-death experience earlier in the season. We see that Wally's exit door is open in his scar, but he chooses not to take it. And finally, we find out that Simon is now stuck in Mr. Martin's scar and is trapped in the world of the spirits at Split River High School. Was that a good synopsis?
What a recap.
Into season 3?
That was great.
Look, there were a lot of red herrings, a lot of twists and turns in those 2 seasons, but I think that's basically where we were at coming into season 3.
Yeah, and a lot of that I've already forgotten. So I needed that
I tried to keep it to the highlights.
Yeah, no, that was great. Well, you recently watched seasons 1 and 2. So what were your thoughts on the show? As a newcomer, what did you think?
Yeah, well, I thought it was a great show. I kind of, you're right, this was right up my alley. It was like if someone was trying to make like a teen show targeting me, this is my jam, because my favorite show of all time is Twin Peaks. I think this is, Split River. This is very much referencing it, Twin Peaks opens with like the death of a blonde teenager, which is basically how this show opens, and just the repercussions on her family and the town. And then you dig deeper and find out that everything's not as it seems. There's a lot of flashes to like her mom even looks like Laura Palmer is the girl who dies in Twin Peaks, and her mom is very upset. And let me tell you, Maddie's mom's house looks so much like Sarah Palmer's house. And the photo of Maddie looks just like Laura Palmer in Twin Peaks. So this had me, look, the show's not Twin Peaks. It's not trying to be that, but it's like, it's so inspired by it that I was like, this is great. What a fun, like, modern remix on these themes.
Yeah, it's a lot of homages to Twin Peaks, I feel like.
Yes. Yeah.
I never even finished Twin Peaks, and I could tell. I remember at the end of season 2, I was saying, this is really going into Twin Peaks territory. There's something going on in this town. Now we're going beyond the school, and weird things are happening. What is going on in this town?
Something's going on. There are a lot
of something's going on.
I don't want to get too far into speculation here.
Yeah.
But I think something weird's going on.
You think something weird's happening here in Split River?
I do. And also the show's so inspired by horror movies. I mean, they name drop, it feels like 5 horror movies in every episode. And they're constant, all the titles of the episodes are references to movies. And it feels like there's just so much inspiration from just all these old school horror movies. You know, they're even like going to see Night of the Living Dead, of like zombies, of body snatching, doppelgangers, all this kind of stuff in horror. That's great.
You really do get it all. And I feel like they've really amped up the scariness of the show.
They slow played it.
Yeah,
season 1 is a little bit more of a teen drama.
Yeah.
Of like, and I thought that's kind of what the show was going to be, is it's like, I'm still in high school, but I'm a ghost. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be that, but it really has amped up. It's gotten a lot scarier. It's got a lot more like darker and sci-fi. Like, it's interesting. Yeah. And it's a real mystery box of a show. They're constantly making you ask more questions.
And I think that is what I like about the show. I mean, in season 1, what really did pull me in was a lot of those high school elements. And I loved how it's a little bit of like Breakfast Club, but for ghosts, and we're all from a different generation. And how are they going to get out of here? And what happened to Maddie? How did she die? So that kind of is what pulls you in at first. But it's so smart then of once we're really attached to everything, then to open up this whole other world of no, there's a lot more questions here. There's a lot more going on, but you still get those high school moments. You still get these ghosts dealing with their trauma and trying to overcome that and being stuck in this school and having such a tragic death too. You really feel for the characters of this show.
And they're doing the high school things of like, go to the dance, go to the football game, all sorts of stuff.
They do such a good job of mixing the two together, which is not easy.
It's teenagers from all these different decades kind of thrown together, which is what's so fun about, everyone's still going through it. Like when you're a teenager, no matter what decade you were from, everyone's got their own problems.
Well, and I think
obviously they got a lot of problems because they're dead. You know, you got some problems, but they also just had living problems as well.
Yeah. And it's them still dealing with that and having to really like face the trauma that they felt with. It doesn't go away. No. Even in the afterlife, you're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
And I do like the aspect of this show of how we do have teenagers from multiple generations, but they all come together. And especially this season, they're all really working together, even though they come from very different time periods where the world was such a different place in these different times. And I think that's really fascinating and something I really like about the show, that we're seeing them all, no matter where they came from, they're all working together. They rely on each other. Maybe we could learn a thing or two from these ghosts.
Yeah. You know, I think being in the situation they are of trapped in an infinite loop of high school gives you a lot of empathy for what everyone's going through in high school when you just have to see it forever. You know, like, I mean, they had that storyline last season about how like Wally's become a better person than he was in the 80s. And there's just all sorts of stuff like that where you're just like, it's interesting to this thought experiment of these people. You're right. It's like Breakfast Club for infinity. Like, you're just put in there forever.
Ooh, and that is rough. That's a lot.
But they don't really feel outside of our time because they've been living like vicariously as ghosts through all the students there. So it's like they are kind of up to date on some things. Like they know like tech more than you would think. Like whenever Janet escaped in Maddie's body, like she knew how to use a laptop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because she's there with the students all the time. Like, so it's like they're a remix of these old decades. They have a modern vibe to them.
And I think that's what's cool about it too, is that they're dead, but they're still somewhat living with each other, and they are able to grow.
Yeah.
So they're stuck in a loop, but they're able to grow somewhat, which I think is interesting.
It's a great show.
We love it. We love this show.
I'm glad you finally recommended it to me.
Oh my God. I can't, you guys. I cannot. Well, I'm glad you finally watched it. We did it. It just takes a long time. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the new episodes. We have 3 episodes from season 3. Tyler, once again, just quickly remind us what happened in each episode, and then we'll get into our thoughts and reactions.
Holy cow. We were back with a vengeance. Season 3 of School Spirits kicks off with episode 1. It's a Wonderful Afterlife. Simon is now stuck in the spirit world and is desperate to get out. Maddie is now in the real world and can still see and speak to like Simon and the other spirits if she's in a room where a death has happened, but Maddie's struggling to explain her own disappearance at the school and to her mom. Her and Wally are also struggling to figure out their relationship now. We meet a new mean girl, Livia, and her mom, the superintendent, Dr. Deborah Hunter Price, who wants to shut down the school. Xavier can now speak to ghosts at the hospital. Janet decides to cross over, hoping it will restore balance and free Simon. And that's what happens. And it's a Wonderful Afterlife. You want me to keep going?
Happens.
You want me to do all 3?
Yeah, do all 3 so we can just freely talk.
We'll do all 3
it.
and then circle back and just talk about the whole show.
Because it's hard not to talk about all of it.
Because we've seen them all. They dropped all 3 on us, so we saw all 3 at once. So let's just talk about all 3 at once. All right, I'm going to the next recap. Episode 2, Mean Ghouls. A video of Maddie talking to Invisible Wally is put out by Livia. It's gone viral, and the other students are bullying her, like throwing fake blood on her while getting her yearbook picture. Kyle, a ghost at the hospital who died in the band bus crash, cast doubts on Quinn's identity. Simon goes in Quinn's scar, and it is terrifying.
Horrible. I hated
you had a hard time with that scene.
I won't be able to watch that again.
We find out Quinn was a band member who went by Jacqueline before their death and has come out in death as non-binary. Charley's insecurities become apparent as he accuses Yuri of longing for other guys, but Yuri explains that a student at the school could be his grandson. I love this soapy stuff. This is great. Simon releases Mr. Martin from Scar. He was a prisoner in his own Scar. He reveals that he was the person who caused the bus crash. Mr. Martin was. He also tells us about Ralph, a childhood friend who was struck by lightning and disappeared. Episode 3, The Halls Have Eyes. Nicole becomes friends with Livia and the mean cheerleaders as she's trying to figure out what dirt they have on Maddie. Mr. Martin spins out, basically. We learn that there's a hole in Mr. Martin's scar that throws spirits into another location and briefly reveals them to the real world, is what it seemingly does. Wally goes in and nearly kills Mr. South, the janitor. Maddie talks to her dead dad at the hospital through Xavier. We flash back to why Rhonda wanted to go to UC Berkeley, and Lizzie McAlpine is singing a cover of House of the Rising Sun at like a beatnik place. Maddie's mom goes away to detox. Simon goes down in the hole of the scar and sees a shadowy figure, ending the episode with "Oh shit," and we don't see who it is.
Oh shit is right. A lot happened in these first 3 episodes.
That was a lot to recap. I'm glad it's only one at a time after this.
I know. I mean, where do we begin? I mean, let's start with Simon is now a ghost. Because that's one of the first big things that happens. This is a huge change. Mm-hmm. But he's also alive. Yes. His hand was bleeding. So he's technically still alive, but he's in the ghost dimension.
They said ghosts don't bleed. And so basically, I think
and if Janet says it, I believe it. If Janet said right away he's not really dead, I'm like, all right. Janet said it.
So do you think ghosts sweat? We've seen them cry. We've seen ghosts cry.
I think, though, bleeding and pain seem to not affect ghosts. Sweating is different. They said
Charley can still have an allergic reaction, but I guess can't die from it. So I guess you can go through pain, but it can't actually harm your body.
Exactly. I don't think they experience much actual physical pain either, because when we saw Simon trying to escape the school and got bounced back, he was in a lot of pain, and Janet was like, we don't experience that much of pain.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, what it did get me wondering about was Wally and Maddie's hookup, and I'm wondering, are like bodily fluids exchanged in this situation? Like, what is the protocol in a ghost?
I think yes. I would assume so. Yes.
Just wondering.
Yeah,
it raised some questions. The ghosts don't bleed,
but she can't get pregnant.
Yes, we're not.
Imagine
doing that.
If that comes to
you
light.
Don't need protection in the ghost world.
If this was made in the early 2000s, she would have gotten pregnant.
You would have needed
having sex the first time in the ghost
condom.
World.
You need a ghost condom.
So it's interesting having Simon on the other side now.
It is, because we really got in a rhythm with Simon, and just like Simon always like running around basically doing all these missions in the real world, and just, having to run in school, throw on like his earbuds and just talk to Maddie. Like we really got in a rhythm of that's how the show works. And so now for season 3, I mean, it is flip things on its head. It's just a completely different dynamic now, where I don't know what I'm getting from episode to episode.
I like it though, because it feels fresh and different. We're not doing the same thing over again. It was such a smart change, because now we're getting Simon interacting with the ghosts. We get him and Wally being kind of awkward with each other.
Oh yeah, there's some awkwardness.
There's some tension there. I mean, I kind of get it. Simon's like, I'm here because Maddie wanted to stay with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be a little angry too.
And as someone who freshly watched season 1, let me tell you, it wasn't completely clear that Maddie and Simon were platonic. And there also seemed to be a thing, clearly of Xavier and Maddie. And like, we've really focused in on Wally, but I do love the show bringing up that maybe there's some awkwardness around all this.
Yeah.
Because in the time of the show, I think maybe a month has passed since the first episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, it's not like Maddie was gone for a year.
Right.
So it's awkward. Like, this stuff's fresh to Simon.
It's good. It's some good stuff. I like it. And I
love
like
the
that
awkwardness
Simon's a leader. He's really starting to take charge of, I have to get out of here. We have to figure this out. Yep. He's really taken action. We see him leading meetings. We see him going into Quinn's scar. I do think he's a good addition to the ghost group.
He's a real go-getter. He's rounded them into shape of like, guys, we got stuff to do. Here's a list of things I need you to do.
Yeah. And then he's the one who goes into Quinn's scar, the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Tied up with that rope.
Yeah. So it is nice to see him.
Oh, sorry, Quinn's scar. I was thinking the hole later on. But
again, another he's a man of action, Simon.
He is a man of action. He's diving into scars, into holes. He's running around he immediately tried to run off campus and immediately got thrown back. Well, he's taking a beating.
I think he's coming from the perspective of, I am not going to get comfortable in this world like Maddie did. I got to get out of here as quick as possible. Maddie was getting a little too comfortable where she almost didn't come back, and that is not going to happen to me.
Simon's really got the vibe of like, I'm a freelancer here. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not putting down roots. I don't have a career here in the ghost world. Like, I'm here to do a job and get out.
I know. A part of me was like,
I'm a temp job right here. You'll see me today. I'm out of here tomorrow.
A part of me was like, Simon, just get a little comfortable. Pull up a chair. Like, get to know Rhonda a little bit better. You know, like, come on. Grab some cookies from the teacher's lounge and get to know these ghosts a little more. Yeah. I would be the opposite. I'd be pulling up a chair at group, being like, tell me about your life. You were in the 60s, Simon ain't having that.
It's interesting because Simon is kind of, throughout the show, put in a lonely place of being like the only one talking to Maddie for the first 2 seasons. And then now it's just genuinely like disappeared from the world and can only talk to Maddie still, but just now no one can talk to Simon.
He's like, can I please just get away from this girl a little bit? I want to talk to some other people.
Yeah. And, I do have to, we can talk more about it in later on theories and speculation, but do you think we ever got a great explanation as to why Simon was able to see Maddie?
No, I really don't think that we did. I think that is confusing me a little bit still. I mean, I understand they had this great connection, but then why have none of the other ghosts been able to talk to humans before? I guess so. It's because Maddie never really died. I think that's a part of it, because it was more of like a body swap.
Because it makes sense to us why Maddie can still see. Maddie was of this world and like kind of died. Xavier basically died, flatlined, and talked to these ghosts. But I don't think we've gotten an excellent explanation of what happened there with Simon. And it does just make us lead back to, we can get into it later, but does it feel like Maddie changed things?
Yeah.
Something happened.
It does feel that way. Definitely. Yeah. I think it's...
Anyway.
I think the reasoning to that is going to be when we learn more about what is going on in this town. Which I can't wait to keep just saying this episode.
Going on in Split River?
What's going on in this town?
Yeah.
Well,
Split River, normal place. Normal things happen.
I'm sorry. If I was a parent there, I'd be getting my kid out of that school. I'm like, what happened to that girl who was missing for a month?
Yeah.
You know?
With all the craziness going on.
Back?
With all the craziness going on with Maddie and at the school, I don't know if Xavier's dad's going to win his re-election campaign. I think I just don't think things feel nice and orderly in town for the sheriff right now.
Yeah, it's not looking great. He can't get answers from anybody on what happened at the
He's got no explanation as to what's been going on.
I mean, the PTA must have questions.
They got questions.
Yeah. Well, now we have Maddie back in the real world, and she's not giving anybody any answers.
Which we had never seen, and we are like, wow, Maddie, this is rough. It's like having to go back to high school after you were out.
I know. It is so sad. She is getting bullied. She is getting blood thrown on her. I did like that Carrie reference.
Yeah, she gets the full Carrie treatment.
Yeah. I know. It's sad, though, to me, because in my head, I'm like, there was blood in the boiler room that was confirmed to be her blood. So wouldn't you feel somewhat bad of, well, something violent happened to her? I wouldn't think that she just like ran away on her own. If there was
that's what's so
blood
devastating about the video
Yeah.
of her talking to no one, because then it really puts doubts in people's minds of like, one of the comments Nicole reads is like, she's just like all for attention. Like, you know,
Yeah.
So people are starting to be like, oh, she's this just drama queen who just like pulls stunts for attention.
I do also think that is a realistic high school student response. Like, unfortunately, that would be the response in the school. Not, oh my God, I hope she's okay. I wonder what happened to her. People would say, I searched for her for a month.
Yeah.
And she just walks back in here.
Back in like nothing. I will say, Maddie, it's a bold move to walk back in like nothing happened.
I know. She wasn't even thinking about it. She just walked right back in there. And
she's like, where's Wally? Where's invisible Wally?
Claire and Nicole.
Girl.
Like, let's get you to
I guess
class.
Maddie's like, I'm graduating. Who cares? I'm getting out of here.
I do like the high school elements that we're adding in this season, though, with Maddie being back in the real world. We're getting the mean girls in there. We're seeing a little bit more of the school now.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because things are like suddenly grounded of like, now you have to live in the repercussions of everything that has happened in the first 2 seasons, which we never really thought about, like what the consequences would be of this if Maddie did get out. And now that she's out, it's like, oof, this ain't great.
Well, and I thought when she gets out, the show is over. But what's interesting now is that we get to see the repercussions, and now she's living in 2 different worlds because she can still talk to the ghosts. So she's in the real world, but she's also trying to solve the issues of the ghost world still.
And she's got to explain all of Janet's mess. The problem is Maddie didn't get to just come out clean and like try to handle all this. she had Janet behaving in erratic ways for a couple days there. Like, that is just so hard to explain.
I mean, Livia saw her at that frat party. That was
I know,
bad.
that's tough.
Janet really did some damage for Maddie.
Janet, I don't know, Janet. You were a little reckless with Maddie's body. Janet also, I'd like to say, took over Maddie's body, got up and walked out of there with a giant wound in the back of her head and never did anything about it. She could have died. She almost just ruined Maddie's body.
I know. That's what almost caused her to die, that turning into an infection.
Yeah.
So I thought Janet kind of owed Maddie a little bit more of an apology, to be honest.
No, Janet's like, I'm going in this white door. Peace. You guys clean up the mess.
Good luck. I know I'm the only one who knows science in this group.
Bye.
You're stuck with Mr. Martin.
I think the one thing that's great about the show showing Maddie caught between two worlds is such a relatable theme to that age of just of high school, of growing up, of like, because it's like, I love that the college party of like people have seen her there. Like, it's like that being trapped between like, the first year home from college or whatever, or even you feel that as you start to find interests you're passionate about later in high school, of like, oh, I've always been friends with these people, but now I'm into this, and like they're not into that, and like it's just such a relatable thing. So like for her, it's like portrayed in like ghosts, like the living and the dead, but like a lot of people feel that way, of where you just feel like, oh, I kind of met some new people that are more my vibe.
Yeah, I think I definitely felt that way in high school. I think when you have multiple different groups too, or it's like, I was a swimmer my whole life, so I'm friends with all those people. But then I really like this new group that I'm hanging out with. And you kind of feel very torn between both those groups and how to manage it all.
Totally. And I think that's why the show's kind of universal, even though it's so kind of hard sci-fi at times and horror.
They do a good job of making the sci-fi very universal, I will say. I think they do a really good job of that, because Maddie is also struggling with her mom a lot in this show, which is a very universal theme.
Like, her mom was traumatized by her disappearance.
Yeah.
But she's been so traumatized from her mom's like substance abuse her whole
life. Her
like,
mom is pretending didn't happen and wasn't really a thing. She's trying to just kind of brush over that. And Maddie's like, we can't brush over that.
Yeah.
Because that's where I left you. That's the last time I saw you. That's what you were doing.
What a great show. I'm excited for the rest of season 3 to see where all this goes with the new dynamic, because I do think they get to explore new ways of telling the story. And I like that they keep withholding stuff from us too. Like, I know that can be frustrating, especially I'm probably going to feel that frustration watching it week to week, of just like, give me the answers, stop delaying. Like,
this show is definitely a slow burn. They withhold a lot of stuff.
They do withhold, and they love to throw red herrings at you.
They do.
But
I like that. I think the payoff then is more worth it. Like, I love this season, the band story. It's kind of like front and center when they've been a part of this since season 1. That is amazing storytelling to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that, like, Quinn's story coming from that. I don't know. There's just so much they've planned out.
And there is a lot that we've learned in these first few episodes about this world and what's going on.
Definitely.
So should we get into our top 5?
Lay it on me. I'm excited for your top 5.
So my top 5 this week, we do a top 5 every week. Talking about what happened in the episodes we're recapping. So the top 5 this week is top 5 things we learned in the first 3 episodes of season 3. Because they did reveal a bit.
We did learn a lot. I gotta say, they dove more into lore and like explaining more of what happened than I expected. I thought we were going to get some in the first ep and then they were going to pull back, but they went pretty hard all 3
They
eps.
did. I mean, they could have brought up that hole way later in the season, and they're revealing a lot more. So let's get into it. Number 5 for top 5 things we learned in the first 3 episodes. Number 5, they're shutting down the school. The superintendent, played by Jennifer Tilly, who we love.
Yeah.
As a poker player and a Real Housewife. Yeah. She's amazing in this show.
What a resume.
I love it.
And just a voice. Her voice.
Yeah. It's so iconic.
When she comes in and shushes everybody.
I was like, oof, I'm scared. I'm scared. Yeah. And she's shutting down the school. And not only shutting it down, bulldozing it.
Yes, she is. She wants no one to ever go to Split River High again. Now, I wonder what would happen to the ghosts if that happened.
Well, that's the question. That's the problem.
You think it'd just be wandering around in a field on a construction site?
I don't know. They feel so connected to the school.
They do.
They can't even leave the school. So it feels like, yeah. So now we got a time limit on this, on figuring all this out, which is scary.
That's and true. She said this is the last class, right?
Why does she want to bulldoze the school?
They got a construction company that's moving quickly. I got to say, schools I thought usually take a few years, but they're burning through this.
Well, it seems like maybe the other school is already ready to go.
Okay, ready to roll.
But
why do you think she wants to bulldoze the school?
It seems like maybe she knows something.
I do think she has a past at the school. I think it also might be she's part of just some like real world scheme, money scheme. Who knows what it is? But there could be some real personal reasons of something. Everyone's got trauma at that school.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some personal reasons here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we casting Jennifer Tilly if this is like a nothing character, or if this is a character who's just trying to get rich? I think she has a past. She knows something.
Or maybe she knows something is under the school.
Yeah, I know.
She wants to get
might.
To. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff with that of the past of the school. They used to be called the Devils. And I talked to you a lot about how I was like, when you watch the show, like binge it, you're like, wow, the devil comes up a lot in this show. Like, they're called the Devils. You see references to devils. Like, there was like a poster of Wally where I told you under it says like the devil's hero. Whenever Mr. Martin has escaped and is going around in Mr. Anderson's body, he's listening to songs about the devil. Like, there's a lot going on there.
All right, back to our top 5. Number 4 in top 5 things we learned in the first 3 episodes of season 3. There's hospital ghosts.
Hospital ghosts.
Hospital ghosts. Not
it makes you wonder, are there pockets of ghosts all over this town?
Well, and they can't leave the hospital either.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really a lot of hospital ghosts. A lot of people die in a hospital.
I really think, I gotta say, I don't think Maddie has jumped. Like, I get she wanted to talk to her dad, and that was important. But, like, I was like, we really got to start comparing notes between the ghosts. You got to be talking to Xavier, and you got to be running back to the school. We got to be running notes past each other about, like, have you guys figured out any way to leave? Have you guys figured out anything about scars? Any of that? Give us some of these answers, baby.
I know. I need like a meeting of the ghosts somehow. And I know that's really going to fall on Xavier and Maddie, but we need it.
Yeah. I wonder if the ghosts could FaceTime each other. I don't know. I wonder if they probably can't see it through tech.
They couldn't even take a photo.
That's a good point. So I don't think it'll work.
We have hospital ghosts and school ghosts. And then if you had a near-death experience in one of those locations, you can see the spirits. But only where you had your near-death experience. So it's like if you kind of maybe like crossed over the line, you can see the spirits in that place.
Yes. It's interesting. It's been a fun use of Xavier, who I told you I've liked throughout this show a lot. I told you I thought I think he's like a pretty good actor. I think
he's great.
I think he does a good job. Like,
I think so too.
When they've asked him to kind of be lots of things in this show.
Yeah, he's had a lot of different storylines. Like at first you think he's just this like asshole cheater boyfriend who might have had something to do with Maddie's disappearance. And then you're like, I love Xavier. He's really doing a lot to help out here.
He is. I think he's great.
And he's taking some hits too. He took some hits from Janet.
It was a good thing because it did raise so many questions I want to know about the hospital. And are there more pockets like this around the town, or like it really expanded the world, because now it's not just about the school. It's like there's something going on in this town.
I think there's something going on in the town.
I'm starting to think that.
I'm really starting to think it. Split River. We should know something weird is going on in a town when it's called Split River.
It's true. It's a split. They're split.
Yeah.
It's split between the worlds. You're right.
Exactly. We should have known that earlier, but here we are. Now I'm really starting to think. Are we going to find other locations where ghosts are stuck in a loop, hanging out?
But I enjoy the slow reveal of all
I know.
I love getting to find. It's so exciting. It's like a little treaty chip when you get a little more information.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I think I've told you this quote by David Lynch when he did Twin Peaks, is he said that, the mystery is the golden goose of the show that lays the golden eggs, that keeps the interest, that keeps the drama, keeps the tension. And you can't just reveal or there are no more eggs once you reveal it all.
I do like with this show, I think once they kind of reveal something or you think you might know, they add another layer to it.
Yeah.
Which is smart. So it just keeps on going. Yeah.
It's fun.
All right, number 3 in top 5 things we learned in the first 3 eps. Janet's balance theory did not work. Janet had a failed experiment.
Janet, you disappeared for no reason.
She let me down. I mean, I was mad she crossed over because I was excited to have somebody in STEM on the team. She was leading these experiments. She was taking her notes. She was doing a great job.
You said that when we were watching the first ep. You were like, it's great. We've got like a woman in STEM now as the ghost. She's really going to be breaking down equations and solve this for them. And 2 seconds later, Janet's like, I'm going through this door. Bye.
And I got her reasoning of, we might have done an imbalance here because I didn't cross over when I had the opportunity. So maybe that's why Simon's stuck here. I got that. It was a good theory in my opinion. But now she's just left them all with Mr. Martin.
Although she didn't know that Wally also didn't accept his exit door.
And nobody knows that yet. I do just kind of wish she would have brought this to the group before doing it. I think she owed that to the group. At this point.
It felt a little sudden, I'm not going to lie, since all of season 2 had been about Janet, from when we get the reveal in season 1 that Maddie's not dead and that Janet has taken her body. And then all of season 2 is about Janet. I sort of thought we were going to have a little more time with Janet the Spirit this season, but we only got 1 ep. I don't think she's coming back either. She was credited as guest star.
Yeah, I don't think she's coming back. I think that's it for Janet. And I'm happy she was able to cross over. She's been there a long time. She's really been through it. So I'm happy for her. But I just kind of wish she was there to help out. But it allows Wally, Rhonda, everyone else to step up and more figure this out.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. She might have dominated things too much if she was in the ghost world. Because she was kind of a de facto leader in that way.
And I think she was sometimes relying too much on science with her theories and reasoning. And I don't think science is explaining everything that's going on.
You know who got out of there on her own? Dawn. She didn't seem the most scientific.
No, we need Dawn back. Dawn was...
She said she sees everything. She observed everything. But she also seemed, I don't know, she had a more Zen-like approach to it all, a more spiritual approach.
I think you got to combine the science with the spiritual.
I'd love for Dawn to come back somehow.
She was great. She was a good character. It is.
I just like that everyone thought she was stupid. And I was like, she memorized everyone's password of the school. She's not stupid.
I know. Yeah.
She was interesting.
well, maybe we'll get some new ghosts up in here, Who knows?
Well, they had that joke at the beginning that Charley does of who all was it? Fern. Everybody. It was like, because you'd kept joking about those other people that were in the group. Like at one point
who
where
were
you
like
see other people in the circle. And it's like, where are those ghosts right now? So they addressed that.
They don't want any part of this drama.
Charley was running around talking to all of them. They don't want to be any part of this.
I love that. I love how he had to do like a ghost head count. And he's like, everyone's accounted for. They just don't want to talk to us.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah. What I'm skating on the roof.
Yeah. All right. Our number 2 in top 5 things we learned in the first 3 episodes. Number 2, there is a hole under Mr. Martin's scar that is leading to another layer.
Probably could have brought that up earlier, Mr. Martin.
I mean, this is huge news. This is wild. And we see it. It's terrifying.
Mr. Martin said they're not like us. They're others, and they're not like us. What do you think that meant?
Well, I have my theories on that. Should we hold?
We'll get into it. No. We'll get into it.
Save it. It's hard.
But
that
world was scary.
I gotta say, I did not see this coming.
I don't know what to make of it. It is like it. Back in season 1, there was. I was meaning to rewatch this, but Wally talks about how they had put like a lab down there. And they were talking about how it was like a nuclear bunker at one point.
Yeah.
And they're talking a little about the history of down there. And it feels like underneath the school, something's been going on. You know what I mean? Like in the real world, like from some of the stuff that Wally was quickly reading in the library that day. And so I'm curious to learn if that connects over, if that is where the split is like underneath the school.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We're going to find out. Hopefully, one day.
And is it like another dimension? Not really, because anybody can like get down there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean,
I wonder if, we're talking about it. We could go long about this, so we'll get into it later. But I do wonder if like there are holes in other people's scars. Like whatever it was that lured Mr. Martin down there and then, threw him out somewhere else. That part's interesting too.
Yeah. This is what I love about this show is that the mystery a lot throughout seasons 1 and 2 is, okay, how do we cross over? How do we get out of this school? Mm-hmm. And now though, we're learning so much more about this school that people are choosing not to cross over because like, we got to help. We got to figure this out.
I'm like, I got to find out what's happening.
Yeah. There's just like so many layers that are being added at all the time to where what we cared about before, we don't even really care about anymore.
No. It's crazy. I can't believe you did this show by yourself in season 2.
It was tough. It was a tough one.
You got to really talk this out with someone. I feel like I felt crazy just thinking about this before the pod.
I know. All we know about that hole is it's terrifying, and that's pretty much all we know right now.
And it's dark.
And
there seems to be a leak. There's some water.
Well, the janitor's in the hospital. He can't fix that right now.
That's true. He can't fix the leak right now.
All right. Well, this all goes into my number 1 for top 5 things we learned in the first 3 apps. Number 1, Mr. Martin caused the bus accident. Not on purpose, but he did cause it. And he caused it because he went into the hole and went into the water, was grabbed into the water. And next thing he knows, he appeared outside in front of that bus, which caused the accident.
Yes, that's what Mr. Martin claims happened, is that he went down there looking for Ralph, his friend who had disappeared, because he thought he heard him singing down there.
Right.
And I think that's a great horror trope that you see sometimes of like, oh, you hear something familiar luring you. That then is not what it seems.
That's used in the Hunger Games a lot too by the Capitol.
Yes. You think the Capitol's behind this? This is
going
to turn out to be a Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah.
This is a Hunger Games prequel.
I'm like, Jennifer Tilly is a part of the Capitol.
There's
some Hunger Games vibes in this a little bit.
Oh, sure. I can see it. But yeah, he claims that then that threw him out. He calls the bus. And just imagine that trauma that for years he's been living with that band outside on the lawn in a loop, just kind of just torturing and mocking him in his head of like, I killed these kids. That's brutal.
Well, I think I had a theory way back in season 1 where I was like, is Mr. Martin killing these kids? And I'm somewhat right now. Redeemed, some might say. Yeah. No, this is such a sad story.
It's so sad.
It's really sad. I mean, just the entire bus accident and what happened is so tragic and so sad. And then to find out that this is why it happened, it's just brutal.
What feels almost random to you.
Yeah. It definitely does. I mean,
good for Quinn. There's some force that is causing all these deaths too. It right. feels almost random, but it could be something is causing all this to happen.
I mean, it feels like something is causing it because a lot's going on. And then we see Wally though get pulled into the water too and nearly kill the janitor, but doesn't. So it's not foolproof that somebody will die if you get pulled into that, but it's not great.
It's not great. But whatever this force is, it's got a red light behind it because everything turns a little red.
Yeah. Good for Quinn for forgiving Mr. Martin. I thought that was very good of them.
I
mean, very difficult.
It's tough because, it's not his fault.
Right. You know what I don't forgive Mr. Martin, though, for keeping this a secret for so long. And all of this a secret.
Mr. Martin was keeping lots of secrets. But I still don't think Mr. Martin's coming clean about everything.
And you would think, though, when Maddie is dealing with all this, he maybe would start to tell people, give some form of answers, and he doesn't. Like, it's so frustrating. Yep. And he's just telling everybody that other weird stuff is going on at the school that they need to look at. I mean, come on, man. What have you been doing all this time?
Yeah. There is something funny about I'm like, this Mr. Martin, this storyteller guy, they're just asking for questions as to what's going on at the school. And he's like, so back when I was a child and I would wander around the woods with my friends. And they're like, what? Yeah. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, then we get this side story that Ralph, his childhood friend, disappeared after being struck by lightning.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We don't know really what that all leads to, but it feels weird that Ralph's body just disappeared.
It does. Yeah. Typically bodies don't just disappear.
So maybe there's more like portals or something. I don't know.
We can get into it.
We'll get into it in the theories.
All right. Are we ready to get into it? What are we doing?
I just want to say, though, one other thing on Mr. Martin. Trouble follows this man around, okay? Do not get too close to him. Is really, I feel like, a little bit of a lesson here.
Nothing good happens to people who get too close to Mr. Martin.
And at this point, I'm like, can you help them out a little bit more with this? You're just kind of like sulking in the corner. Like, let's get to it, buddy.
I gotta say, Wally's right to be so mad at Mr. Martin. So manipulated for years.
Yeah.
Wally was manipulated by this man for 30, 40 years. This is of just like you being vulnerable and you being honest. And he's just using you as an experiment.
It is really sad. And I think then maybe it is good that he's kind of stepping aside. I did like the scene.
I don't know if he's stepping aside. I feel like he's lost his mind, babe.
I know he has. He
really doesn't seem well.
No, he's turned into a mad scientist.
I think being locked in that scar for so long isn't good for people.
Well, I think we've learned that. That's a an honorable mention of what we learned.
He didn't look
great.
Be
in that scar for too long.
He didn't look great coming out of that scar.
Yeah, it's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Simon was saying. It's not You can't be trapped into your trauma and the worst thing that happened to you.
Mm-hmm. You couldn't even watch Quinn's scar, much less trapped in there.
It was just too sad. The stop sign thing, I that was really upsetting.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
It's a scary show now.
It is.
I can't believe you're into the scary show. You who won't watch any scary movies. They really bait and switched you. They sucked you in.
You know what it is? I like scary with like reasoning and like a science fiction twist to it.
Leading to a mystery. And
I don't like scary to just be scary. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like campy, then that's fine. Yeah. It either needs to be camp or it needs to be like based in science or something, like a larger thing.
Sure.
All right. Before we get into our wild theories, we really keep teasing these. Let's talk about some of the other.
I just want to say my theories.
I know. Let's quickly though get into some of the other characters on the show because everyone is really being utilized this season, which I'm really loving.
A big cast. It's become slightly more ensemble than it used to be. Yeah.
I like it. We learned so much more about Quinn and Yuri so far. I mean, we were introduced to them in season 2, and I kind of was always questioning them because we didn't know that much about them. And I loved hearing more about their backstories. Unfortunately, more about their trauma. But it really feels like they're main players now, which I'm liking.
For sure. And I like that they have secrets. Quinn, obviously, we found out about. Did you ever believe for a minute that Quinn might be nefarious?
I never believed it because the kids, the teenagers, are never the ones at fault. It's always more so the adults in this show. And I just think that would be too dark.
It was good though. It was really good.
It was a red herring.
That Kyle guy at the hospital was in the band. I was like, this is a fun connection between these two worlds.
It's all going back to that band. I love it. Yeah.
But I do want to know more about Yuri because, again, Yuri didn't seem to speak to anyone for decades except for Janet. And it does feel like Yuri knows more about Janet and what's going on. And then Janet was like, I'm going to teach you how to like keep things permanent, how to not reset. And then left Yuri that note. So I do feel like we have more to go with Yuri that I'm interested to learn.
I think
through Yuri's scar. And
I think he's going to be a key player into figuring out what happens because I do think his philosophical ways are really going to come into play here, and he's going to be really somebody who is starting to figure things out, and he was the closest to Janet. So I think that says a lot. He's just got to go into that scar. We need him to go in, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it feels very like different approaches to life. Like Janet's was very like rigid and scientific. Dawn's was very kind of like
hippy dippy
free love, while Yuri's is more just like studying philosophy. And so it does feel like all of these different approaches can crack the code of what's going on there.
Yeah, I think it will. And I do like that we are still getting a pregnancy storyline in this teen drama in a very interesting way of he might have had a baby. He might have had a baby.
He might have a grandson wandering around.
Yeah. Which I'm like, that's kind of fun. That's a fun little added drama twist.
Yeah.
I did really love.
I will say I do kind of hope they get past the Charley. Like I just get so sad about Charley.
I really want Charley to accept himself.
I know. Charley is just really struggling like with his insecurities.
I know.
And I just kind of want him to be happy. And
I want him to let himself be happy. Because he is happy with Yuri, but he keeps trying to like look for things of why this is not going to work out. And I just want him to let himself be happy. He deserves that, but he needs to know that he deserves it. And it is it's really sad, but it's a really good journey of self-discovery. I think it's very realistic.
Of just the internalized hatred. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just about him accepting his sexuality. It goes much deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did really love Quinn's storyline too, of somebody who died, decades ago at this point, but is living a very modern storyline of coming out as non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the way that the speech that they give is so good. It was really, it makes you tear up a little bit. And it's a very human storyline that's being told through a ghost.
And it makes you feel guilty. It makes almost everyone feel guilty.
Yeah.
That you're accusing this person of being which is, a common theme of accusing queer people of being treacherous or liars that's going on in history and in artwork. And I just think that it's great to then have such a powerful speech that is giving you so much empathy for this person and what they're going through. When after you've been you lied to us, and it's oh, sorry, take your time.
I know. And it's just nice they're able to be honest about who they are and had the courage to do that too, which is a lot. I mean, it's so sad they're dead, obviously, but it's nice to see them able to be who they are and not wear the frilly dress that their mom wanted them to wear on picture day and be able to make those choices on their own.
It's a lesson you hope Charley learns of just if you can't be yourself and be who you want to be in death, when can you?
I know.
What are you doing?
Isn't that's the truth? You're so right. But it goes to show still how hard it is.
Yeah.
And
that
how,
it's the battle in your head.
Takes. Yeah. That even in death, it's still difficult.
I mean, Yuri's still medicating anxiety,
Yeah. I know. We got to know what happened in that greenhouse. I mean, I guess we know, but, I don't know. Do you think he's hiding more?
I think there's more to find out.
I think so, too. For sure. And then we're getting another great typical high school show trope with Nicole and Claire dealing with the mean girls. Yeah. I love Nicole infiltrating the mean girl group by shit talking. Yeah. And that being her strategy.
Yeah. Claire just kept saying, you've got to just talk shit about me and Maddie. That's Nicole's the only way to get in with these girls. That's the only currency these girls know. Too real.
I really love their scenes together too. I love that they have Nicole and Claire really buddying up this season and doing their part.
It's wild what a class traitor Claire has become.
I know.
Basically, these girls who worshipped her to now just completely have turned her back on the. She didn't even show up to regionals or whatever, and now she's got spies. Now she's got double agents coming in.
Going to that party, drinking those Long Island iced teas.
Yeah. It all might just be a scheme so Claire can hang out with Nicole's brother. Let's be honest.
I do wonder what's going on with the two of them.
There's love is in the air on School Spirits
with Claire and Diego. I'm shipping them.
Yeah.
Who else are you shipping?
I know I might be in the minority here, but I just don't know how Wally and Maddie are going to work out.
No,
it's like a tragic love story to me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I know what
how
you
are
mean.
you guys ever going to make this be on the same page?
I know. I'm struggling with it too. And I love them. I would love for them to be together, but I just don't really know how this is going to work. You can't even touch each other.
Yeah.
And it just feels like Maddie is split between these two worlds, and the Wally of it all is just not really helping. But also, what is she going to do? Date somebody else while she's still dealing with all this ghost stuff? That's not really realistic either.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Charley's great and Charley and Yuri, but like I do think the one I really want to see is Rhonda and Quinn. It does feel like there's a real attraction and caring for each other between Rhonda and Quinn. And I think because Rhonda has been such a like tough, hard person in this show, to see like these sweeter moments with Quinn, I think would be nice to see.
I feel like I really got more friendship vibes with them, but
I'm shipping them, babe.
I mean, I'd love to see it, so I'm all for it.
Let me ship them. Rhonda was going to go out to California and be a lesbian, babe.
I know. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for all the ghosts finding love in the afterlife. They should.
Yeah.
Especially with the realization of this whole, like, just I think, find some love, everybody.
Look, everyone's got their trauma from different decades that crosses over, of like whether it's from Maddie with her mom to like Wally not even wanting to play football and dying that way, of like that performative masculinity to like, but I think Rhonda of just wanting this kind of like female equality that in a world that like was just on the verge of people starting to get that.
Yeah.
Was just to die right when you're like heading that way, like going to Berkeley, gonna be who you want to be. It's so tragic for her.
And to die by the hands of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
It's tough.
Yeah. I just want Rhonda to be happy, honestly. I think she has had such a tragic story, and I really want some peace and happiness for her.
Yeah. I mean, and that song, The House of the Rising Sun, like, I do think that song is a song kind of about being in a loop, you know? I mean, I think a lot of people interpret that as being like in a prison or a brothel, and like, it's just like, you're there and the sun is rising, and it's just sort of like they're all trapped in this loop of trauma at the school, which is just like being, you know, trapped in other ways.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of themes with loops in this show. Definitely.
Yeah.
I did love seeing Rhonda go to that club, high school Rhonda. It's just
fun. In her little dress.
You see her figuring out who she is and who she wants to be. And then the fact that we know that tragic ending, it just makes it so sad.
Yeah. All right. Do we get to get into theories now?
Let's get into the theories. Let's do it.
Unleash me.
Theories, off the speculations, predictions. Let's do it. So, warning, we're getting into all of it. So, if you don't
we don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
There's no reading ahead. This is all just speculation. This is just, we're guessing.
Speculating here. Yeah.
People who watch TV just guessing on what we think is going to happen. Number one, who is down in that hole?
The number one question. So,
who did Sai go, oh shit?
So, the oh shit, I think, is very telling. I think it's somebody he knows. Because you wouldn't say, oh shit, if it's just a random person, you know? I think that oh shit was very telling in this. And I think that, maybe there's other versions of them down there. I don't know. Is it Maddie that he sees? Like, he saw somebody he knows.
That's an interesting guess, of just doppelgangers, of just like dark versions of themselves. Because like you do have that line by Mr. Martin of they're not like us. So it could be that they are us, but not like us.
Yeah. And we
that
get
it could be dark, traumatic versions.
We get to this whole from a scar, where a scar is where you see people from your past. So
I mean, you know, I certainly wondered if like in the water was Maddie.
Yeah, I think that's
because Maddie
guess.
Maddie trapped in the scar, because Maddie is like trapped in water in her own scar. But what I was really kind of I think it might be Mr. Martin. I think it might be another version of Mr. Martin. I could see that this could be like this show loved Doppelganger. It was fun when like Maddie was playing, like there were two versions of Maddie.
Yeah.
And I did wonder if this is like a darker version of him, who's down there.
It makes sense. It's his scar where the hole is. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting because, okay, so we see the water.
I mean, it'd be the funniest would be if it's Jennifer Tilly and just like, hello.
Oh my God.
That'd be great.
LOL. It does feel a little bit though, like in the hole, we're seeing a house, which reminded me of Janet's grandmother's house from last season.
I think then that's Janet's house.
Yeah, it seems to be Janet's house. Then we see the water, and the water has to do with Maddie's scar. And then it almost leads into maybe a church-like thing.
It looks like a church.
Which also leads into Janet.
Which the lineup was similar to that. Was that grandma's house that we saw, like where that Janet went into, where it's like would come down the stairs and then you'd turn and in there was like, like a cross on the wall. So it was like a church in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wondered if it was Janet's house, but I don't know. I don't know who else would be down there.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll find out.
So other things is, again, I don't know what the hole is, but the hole could be some kind of way. It could be something older than like what Mr. Martin did.
Oh, that's interesting.
That has been kind of transformed.
I just think it's 100% somebody Simon knows.
To say ill shit.
Yeah. And I think it's a version of somebody else that he already knows. Like, I don't think it's Janet because I think Janet crossed over.
Janet's gone.
I do think she's just done.
I keep thinking how we don't know much about Simon. Simon, who has been one of the people we've spent, aside from Maddie, this is the person we've spent the most time with on this show. And I feel like I just don't know a lot about what's going on with him. I mean, it was quickly revealed that he's adopted. And he claimed he's messaging his sister, Sabrina. And that's his excuse for where he is. So that's an odd thing to suddenly want to establish that he's adopted.
I wonder if that all connects to this somehow of who he sees. Does he see Sabrina or a version of her, maybe?
Sabrina is down there? Because it could be whatever your own fears or your own anxieties is what you're seeing.
Exactly. I'm wondering if that all leads to who he sees. Because they're bringing up Sabrina for a reason. This somehow connects to what Simon is going through this season.
Well, one thing I think that the reason doppelgangers are so interesting too, though, is because like that was a big thing in Twin Peaks. And I do think in Twin Peaks, they like get sucked into the red room is in this town. I do think the red glowing lights from this are homages to that red room of getting pulled in with the red curtains. And then there would be doppelganger versions of people. And I do think that this could be some similar stuff of like, what if a different version of Simon comes back up?
Oh, that's interesting.
It's himself.
Oh, that would be good. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Now I'm scared.
Now you're really scared.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be right. Well, one of my questions is, where's the bus driver ghost from the marching band accident?
Yes, that's a good question. So we see in Quinn's scar that the bus driver is dead, who is an adult. And I don't think we've seen any adults in this world except Mr. Martin. Is that right?
Right. Which I think is interesting because Mr. Martin died with Janet. To where Mr. Martin was even her scar. And you're telling me no other adults have died in this school? And we know the bus driver died. Where is he?
You think he died. He might not have died.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
It's very dark in the scar. I don't know if I fully saw, like, it's not like I saw a stop sign coming out of him. Like, what if the bus driver is Mr. South? The janitor guy. That would make sense that this person's working as a bus driver as well. And then it would mean not you're popping out at random. Every time you pop out, it's to Mr. South.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mr. Martin popped out in front of that bus.
Yeah.
And maybe, just speculating, we don't know who the bus driver was, but if it was Mr. South, the janitor, then Mr. Martin popped out in front of him. And then when Wally did it, he popped out in front of the janitor, Mr. South. And now, watching the show, I think it wants you to think these are two unrelated, random almost events. Like, why did I pop out here? But maybe you're just popping out in front of the same guy. And also, the whole thing that Mr. Martin started researching to begin with was he walked in and the janitor saw him downstairs.
Yes.
And so I just think there has to be a lot more going on with this janitor, because at this point, the janitor's seen Wally, the janitor's seen Mr. Martin, and by my wild theory, maybe the janitor was the bus driver and saw Mr. Martin again then.
I like this wild theory. I always thought there was more to the janitor that they are slow playing us with.
I got my eye on him.
Yeah. I was suspicious that the janitor knew more in season 1 even.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a big character and then doesn't really go anywhere in season 2.
Uh-huh.
And it
is that weird confrontation with Maddie's mom.
Yeah.
Where he says it didn't hurt her and the mom tries to run him over.
He just always seems to know more too. And he's the one who saw Mr. Martin. So you're telling me he saw that ghost and just kind of let that go or didn't even think anything about it?
Mm-hmm. He's the one who's kind of been pulling the strings, gave Simon the keys back in the day, showed Simon the video. Like, I got my eye on him.
Yeah, I definitely think he's connected to all of this. I like the theory that he could have been the bus driver.
Yeah. You want to know another weird thing? I Googled on IMDb just to make sure. I was like, his name is Mr. South, right? And he's credited by multiple names on the show. Mr. Smith and Mr. South, depending on the episode.
That's interesting.
Odd.
That is odd.
What?
What?
That's bizarre. Why? Is that just a mistake? What is that?
That is wild. I don't know.
I don't either.
That
I don't
feels
know what to
telling.
make of it. It could just be a mistake on IMDb. But I'm like, that's weird.
That's odd. That's really odd. Something's going on there. That's for sure.
I think Wally popping out in front of him is so interesting. And the fact that Mr. Martin said he walked in and that guy saw him.
And Mr. Martin's explanation was that the veil kind of went down a little bit. And that's why he saw him. But
Mr. Martin wants to credit.
We don't know if that's even true.
Mr. Martin wants to credit their experiments and their hypotheses. But we have no idea. Like, there is no control group here. Like, this is all just speculation by Mr. Martin. This isn't like hard proven science, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, Mr. Martin's like, we thinned the veil.
You don't know that you caused that.
Yeah.
You know? It's hard to say.
But it also feels like, yes, something happened with the veil to let Simon into the ghost world. But Simon was also kind of connected to the ghost world because he could see Maddie. So then is the janitor also somewhat connected to the ghost world somehow? That's what it feels like.
It does seem that way.
Yeah. Wow, we're really putting this together, just talking out loud here.
We are. But I still don't... I could see him going a lot of different directions on who's down in that hole. Like who Simon saw. And I think that's going to be telling... I don't know. That's going to be interesting to know where we're going with these holes. If other people have these holes in their scars. If there's just one hole and it's originated from Mr. Martin and maybe all this is a ripple from what's going on down there. And
that
also,
could be. You gotta stop saying hole.
Hole. There's a hole. And we got to fill it.
So many holes. Oh, my God.
Mr. Martin said that he originally went down in that hole because he thought he heard his friend Ralph singing down there.
Yeah.
And that led me to think, what if all of this was caused? Maybe the fire's not exactly the way Mr. Martin told us what happened. And maybe what Mr. Martin had been working on has not really been revealed. And I'm wondering if Mr. Martin was trying to find Ralph. Was originally his experiments almost there. We're trying to find out what happened to Ralph. Where did he go?
It does feel like Ralph has stuck with him.
Mm-hmm.
And as a scientist, he needs to know the answer to this.
Yes.
So I do think he's been working on this.
People don't get struck by lightning and disappear.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did you notice whenever Simon was going down the stairs that the rope was broken by a strike of lightning?
Oh, I did not realize that. I was like, how did that happen?
And lightning is what struck Ralph. Because when Wally pulls it up, it's like still like burning from where the lightning struck it. So I do feel like all this is connected somehow. We got plenty of time to speculate all season. Yeah. But here's just some random thoughts after that crazy reveal of finding the hole and figuring out what's happening with the scars.
Yeah, that's really the biggest question right now.
I do think I almost feel like they got Janet out of there because Janet could have answered a lot of our questions.
Yeah, it feels like we're taking 2 steps back now.
I feel like Janet really might have been onto something with all the trauma is connected. I think Miss Martin was like misusing and misappropriating her theories and research, but I do think she was onto something and like all this trauma is connected into one thing.
And it's all a force together.
Mm-hmm.
Like the red flashing lights in that school when they were all in the scars.
Mm-hmm. And to get such an entrance for Jennifer Tilly, you do wonder if we're gonna end up learning about some of the trauma and what's going on at the school through her.
Yeah, I definitely think
and why she wants to destroy this school.
Yeah. I think she might have been down in that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Before.
What could be interesting is she seems villainous, but like maybe it's just not villainous. Maybe it's trauma, and she's wanting to protect the town from what's going on at that school.
I definitely think that's what it is. Because
she seems villainous. She's mean to Livia. She's so focused on just, you know what she said to Livia when she's very dismissive of her daughter Livia when she's talking to her and like ignores her. You know what she says? She says, "I'm putting out fires." And all of the scars we see like that just fiery look.
Yeah, she knows something. And I do think ultimately I think ultimately she's been through trauma. It's made her this like tough, hard facade, but she knows something and she went through or is going through something. I mean, every character on this show has some kind of trauma, even the ones who have nothing to do with the ghost world. I mean, we have Maddie's mom's trauma. We had Mr. Anderson's trauma with his dad. Like all the adults even have their own trauma. So I definitely think something is going to be revealed like that with Dr. Hunter Price.
I'm not sure quite what it is. It did look like Janet's house down there, but Janet being gone makes it also odd. Because, I mean, obviously there seems some real connections of Janet's dad was so, like hardcore, like extremist religion. Like he was like pushing on her.
It does feel like there's a religious element that might come into play or something here, because it looked like a church down there. We have Janet's very religious dad,
which we don't know exactly what he was.
He was a reverend.
Yes, he was a reverend, and they call him the reverend.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't quite know what he was preaching.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He could have been like an extremist cult for all we know.
Right.
Like, he might not have been mainstream. Like, we don't know. And I do think there's... bring up the Simon thing, too. Like, Simon's religious, too.
Simon... Right. In Simon's car, when Maddie goes in there, she pulls out a cross. Like
rosary beads.
Yeah, it looks like rosary beads, which I feel like that's adding to the religious element. And then also when he goes down into the church, there's like religion, like kind of like a choir singing, it sounds like a religious like song to it. So I wonder if the church, we're thinking it has to do with Janet. I think it has to do with him, maybe.
It's not Janet's church, it's his church.
I think it has something more to do with him than it does with... I think we gotta forget Janet.
They wanted us to think about Janet's dad, but maybe it's about whatever. Well, I will say they've been laying the groundwork for this for a while, because there was a previous episode where Simon is trying to get Nicole to be convinced that Maddie is really speaking to him. And he brings up, like, we're both Catholic. We believe in this. Like, how could you not believe in this, that maybe she's in some kind of purgatory? Like, and he's brought this up before in the show, is that he is religious and considers himself Catholic.
There are a lot of religious themes brought up. And we're talking about devils being the mascot. The devil's brought in a lot. Devil. Like, there is a lot that goes back to religion. So I do wonder if that is going to tie in more.
Something to the school being called the Devils to begin with makes you wonder what's going on here.
Yeah.
Some kind of Satan worshipers down there.
We'll see.
Started the school.
We'll see. We better find out right away in the next step. I won't be able to wait.
All right. I held you over your time limit you gave me.
Oh my God.
But it was fun to talk about.
It's
fun to talk about all the theories.
You know, I feel like we brought up some interesting points. And it was nice to like talk it out. This is a show you gotta check out.
We'll get to them in the future. We can't talk about everything.
Yeah.
Right now. We had 3 episodes to cover.
We had to talk about that hole for an hour.
We'll be able to talk about more stuff in future episodes.
Yeah, we're going to get into all of it. And when we only have 1 ep to cover next week, we can really more get into theories and predictions. And send us any theories and predictions that you have.
Please.
We would love to hear them.
Love to read them.
Drop them in the comments. DM us. Email us. We want to speculate all season. And I would really love to hear other people's thoughts. So we will be back with episode 4 of School Spirits next week. I'm also covering Tell Me Lies on Hulu, all on this same feed. 2 crazy shows right now, just in a different way. So be sure to check that out too. And follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple. You can subscribe on YouTube, and please rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. It really does help. We would love that. I love a 5-star review. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and buy our merch on Etsy. Thanks for listening.
Bye.